Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pro Wrestling World Talks with Dan and Mac.
Oh, it's here. It has arrived, folks. It has arrived. Christmas is here as we are recording this. It is on Christmas Eve, 2025. And in light of talking about wrestling, which, depending on which company you watch or support or anything of that nature, the way that we have been discussing things recently, we really don't want to talk about it this week. We really don't want to talk about the current state of professional wrestling. So we have decided this week to open up the vaults of my collection a little bit. We're also going to do this kind of quickly, but not so quickly because, again, Christmas Eve, so we want to be able to be with our families or that sort of thing. Or some of us, some of them that don't have families that just want to go out to the bar that's open and, your bottle of Jaeger or, God, what was the big drink of choice on Christmas? When we used to drink back in the day, Mac. It's a hard
Bailey's.
one.
Bailey's?
Probably Goldschlager was probably thrown around.
Goldschlager was another one. Yep. But Bailey's and coffee, I feel like, is a big common one, I think.
Very common. And then, of course, Zambuca would be brought out as well from certain certain people that I know.
Goldschlager was one of my friends, Drew. Shout out to that guy, who is in another state now completely. But yeah, he was big on the Goldschlager because of the golden flakes at the bottom, I remember.
Yes, the golden flakes that used to rip up your throat and you'd be just coughing blood up.
Yeah, and then plus the joke with my buddy Drew is it always made him angry. So it's like, then why the fuck are you drinking it, dude? Like,
then
stop.
Why are you drinking it? You know this is part of the deal.
Yep.
It's like tequila with the worm. It's like, that this is what happens. This is part of the deal. God, I don't miss those days whatsoever.
I mean, you sent a little video earlier to another group chat that has another former big drinker, I feel like, at this point, and my first my first comment was literally just, I don't miss that at all. I don't miss that at all.
Yeah, so when you get drunk, the video was when you get drunk and then decide to build Rome in a day. You're like,
yeah, that was it.
600 gold for a painting? No, I'm not paying that.
It's. I remember the commentary that I had a couple of months ago. I think you were a part of this one. If you weren't, then I'll just repeat it anyways. But I cannot hang with my younger self in terms of drinking anymore. I can't do it.
Oh no,
pushing 40s. I just can't do it. It's tough.
It's I was always considered the lightweight of the group, anyways, because I didn't do it as hard as some of my constituents. Let's face it, back in the day, it was.
Oh, I mean, you couldn't hang then, let alone now.
No, now it's like not even close.
Yeah.
Now it's like you can barely get me to drink. It's like maybe one beer, maybe.
I mean, listen, I'll put it this way, and I've said this in the past, and for those that listen, watch, whatever, know this about me, but I lost a ton of weight this year. I lost probably about 120 pounds, right. And that started in February of 2025 this year. And that has progressed pretty much till like October, November, and I've hit my target weight. So I'm very happy about that. Next year, it's going to be body composition. In saying that, though, and how it relates to alcohol, I don't think I've had a drink once this year. And if I have, it was very early in the year before I started weight loss. And I had no real desire to go back. Part of me is like, maybe I'll have one with my old man at Christmas, or maybe somebody at New Year's, depending what the plans are. But I'm not thinking about it. I'm just, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I'm not going to care.
Exactly.
I might say no. It's not a big priority. I don't think about it anymore.
I don't even know who will even offer me a drink tomorrow that I would even say yes. So it's like, plus,
Dan, I'm coming
everyone
over.
knows If you find Leinenkugel's Berry Weiss, then we can talk. All right, like that would be my
That's
absolute
good
beer
stuff.
of
Leinenkugel is
choice.
very, very good.
Very, very good stuff. But now everybody knows what my substance of choice nowadays are. Anyways,
That's what I
So
was gonna say.
it's-
Like there are drinks of that, and like granted, it's not
I
a
actually
high
have one waiting for
yield.
me in my fridge. So
I am debating making a stop on the way up. So if anywhere is still open, I will make that pit stop myself as well. Don't worry. But that is the drink I would rather have. Truthfully.
yeah, the post show of this episode is going to be interesting because it's probably like I'll have a cocktail waiting for me. And then
Cocktails.
probably another 50 milligrams to kick in to just kind of roll in the merriest of holidays.
Marijuana.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Ozzy. God, one of the
Rest
low
in
points
peace.
the
Rest
year.
in power. Yep.
Rest in power.
Yeah. How are we going to
Ozman.
review the year when we have him and Hogan passing? It's like,
Oh,
oh,
jeez, it's gonna be terrible.
I know.
Like it's just our in memoriam is literally just gonna be like the two heaviest of hitters.
Yeah.
And there's been some like massive deaths this year too. Like Robert Redford died and things
Reiner.
of that nature. I'm like, oh, I forgot Robert Redford died.
Yeah.
Because Ozzy and Hulk Hogan died. Like
And
you
the
know,
same
it's
week,
just-
no less. The same
within like
week.
3 days.
Yeah.
It's like I'm just coming to terms on Ozzy Osbourne dying, and then all of a sudden it's just like, what? What do you mean Hogan's dead? And now it's just like, no.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy.
Oh, God, it's just that's why we kind of did not want to come in here and just because we of course got to talk year in review next week, which that's going to be a whole lot of fucking fun. Jesus, we're going to talk about the death of one of the biggest industry icons of the entire industry, and then talk about a year that it was just like mid.
Yeah.
So
That's one way to put it.
we have decided to open up the vault this week. Backed by popular demand by somebody I'm sure demanded it.
I think it was me, actually. It's funny because last year we did this kind of as like a go shopping for Christmas gifts episode. We did it a few
Yes.
days before Christmas, not
Yes.
the day before. So, I mean, if you live near a collectible place, however, and you're looking for last minute gifts, there are worse choices. I'll say that.
Yes. But this year was kind of because this year also I haven't bought as much headed into like this year as far as Ringside is concerned because they did I think they had Black Friday 4.0 even. They're now in the midst of their holiday sale. Which
A lot of
last year I
places.
cleaned up. I cleaned up. I did multiple Ringside orders. But this year it was subdued. More or less because there really wasn't anything outstanding that I really wanted. Because I am getting to that point with the collection, and I also parted with some stuff in the last week. I am now the ECW One Night Stand event share that I had held in my collection for the last 20 years. I had bought secondhand after that show, and had become almost like when people would come over for pay-per-views and things of that nature, the parties, they would sit in the exact same chair, but it really doesn't fit my motif now. I've kind of switched my likings and things of that nature, and I was just like, you know what? I can part with this. So now that is out of the collection.
I mean, to be
And-
fair, I mean, your collection is more actual collectibles, I feel like. I'm not saying that isn't a collectible, but, in context of the items that you do have, that was a little out of place, I always felt like. Cool
I mean,
item
it
to have,
was-
though.
It was. I mean, but at the same time, I just kept looking at it. And I'm just like, what am I doing with this? Like everything else, it's like it's just yeah. And it's the same thing with people really want to do me a favor. They can go to Nick's Comic Shop in Danvers. and go look at his ECW Barely Eagle poster, which is signed by Sabu and Raven, because that would help me out greatly. Sabu and Taz, actually, excuse me, not Sabu and Raven. But what was funny is that when I was bringing that in to kind of go up for sale, I was conversations that I've had with people just like, well, how can you get rid of something like that? And it's like, which actually I'll show you later when I take a moment. There's something actually a lot cooler that I have in that collection that I have that from ECW that I would rather have because I think it's it's kind of more rare than the ECW poster, to be honest, because this is the only thing I've ever seen of this and somehow is able to grab it. I'll have to show it later on, and actually it's the only thing I don't have readily available. Everything, I actually became very prepared for this episode coming into this because of some of the things that I was going to have to show. I really don't have many stills. A lot of it is a lot of show and tell. So we might as well start with the stills that Mac is going to magically appear for us.
Yep. I actually, speaking of Hogan, we start with NWO. If there is, because I have to have several kind of grails as far as autographs is concerned. If this is something I have time to run in and grab if there's a fire in the house, this is one of them. Just because of the fact that this is one of the main reasons that I've just absolutely fallen in love with this industry to the lengths that I have and spent the amount of money and time into this. This is one of the main reasons. And having this here, actually I turned this. So back in, I think, 99 or 2000, I went to a Toys R Us and there was a collection. It was like a ring and like minifigures, and it was like 2 sets of them, and they were like $4 a piece. And that one of them was for Nitro, and then one of them was for Thunder. So I've completely forgot about them. Completely forgot about them. Didn't know they existed. Till one day I went upstairs to my parents' attic, and this is probably about 20 years. So this is probably around 2020, 2019 area. And so I go upstairs and I find these, and this is also when I'm starting to kind of get back into the figure collecting realm, the toy collecting realm. And so long story short, these items that I bought like $4 a piece for, I sold for a lot of money because they were complete, never opened, still sealed boxes. And my dad told me, he's just like, you're going to send it to the guy with the stickers on them of how much you paid, because they still had the Toys R Us stickers on them with the price I paid for them. And I just said, they'll understand. I said, Dad, a lot of these guys, because Toys R Us is out of business now, they're going to like the sticker on there. Trust me. I know how these guys think. So, but he was like, I took the money from that, the money that I made on that, to buy this. This is actually not the one that's hanging out in my house. This is actually a stock photo, because it's hanging up in my toy room, but I really couldn't get a clear shot. So, I had to settle with a stock photo. But this was the one that I was like, when I made that sale, it was like, yeah, I'm going to try and go get something like this. And I was able to pull this off. So I was really like, that was one of those things where I've realized in life, with when you have a collection like this, of sometimes it's like, sometimes you make a little score with that and you barely paid any money for it. Then you can kind of go something and make a big score with that and make
something that you definitely want to keep on to, because since I bought this, it has only gone up in value massively, except I will never, ever get rid of this. This thing will probably, I don't know if it'd be buried with me, but it's going to be close. Like, that's going to be close. I might have to have Steph keep that, actually. I'm like, you're keeping this. And it just has to go in the living room for the rest of time. After I'm long gone, it's still there. Like,
It's above the fireplace next to your
yes,
urn
exactly.
and everything. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Next one is King, I feel like.
Yes. This is the Superstar Billy Graham one.
Yep.
That's very famous shot that was shaken by George Napolitano in the middle of Times Square.
Yep.
And this was I believe this was either before or during his championship reign back in '77. So this is the one that was all in the After mags and all the stuff back then. So it was a pretty, like, as far as wrestling, and you can see it still over my shoulder, but
Yeah.
I wanted it, if you look a little higher, yes.
Yep.
Like you can see it prominently, but it's still something that maybe not a lot of people have been able to see clearly of. The only other thing of Superstar that I probably want to get signed is of the poster that he had made, because it's so bizarre. It's like completely out of Bizarro World, but because it's got like a tiger and like this old, like, it's very avant-garde, which is a word I didn't think I would ever kind of use here. But that's
classy
the
words.
only thing I know. Very right. I think it's probably my vocabulary of the day calendar. It's just a new one every day.
Could be.
It's just,
Could
right.
be. Yeah.
So yeah, but no, that was definitely what, and I didn't pay much for it. Like, that was actually a reasonable deal to kind of get, because like, it's an iconic photo in the industry. So I was just like, yeah, I might as well pick it up.
Right. All right. Yeah. No. Definitely. Next one is Rick.
Yes, this again, stock photo. Only because I couldn't get to it, but this is actually hanging on the wall too. This memorializes the Starrcade '93 main event when he beat Vader to win his 11th world title, which was probably in 1993 the greatest wrestling match I had ever seen. And then that also kind of began the whole obsession with Flair, because it was just like, well, 92, and then this kind of built into it.
Right.
And that was, but that, I've actually been thinking that might have been the Christmas episode of Steph having to watch Starrcade '93 against Flair and Vader, which still might be something I do down the line. I'm just like, come on, it's one of my favorite matches ever. Plus, it's like, because she looks at Ric Flair as just the annoying guy that says woo. I don't even think not that she'll ever care, right? Because she's just going to look at it and just be like, well, I don't want to, I don't care. I don't care how good he is. I don't care how good his promo work is, all this stuff. I just still think he's annoying. That's pretty much what's going to turn into anyway. But a part of me still wants to be like, yeah, this is actually a really good story. Yeah, it still won't turn that.
Probably.
But who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I get it though. We've talked about it, like, I feel like the last several weeks with John Cena. It's the same thing. It's like, people find him annoying, people love him, people don't care. Right? It's always going to be a spectrum. I feel like Rick at this point is in that category.
I bought this, actually. Again, this is not the actual one that I own, but I bought this. This was, I think I bought this on eBay for $30.
Wow.
And it was with the certificate of authenticity and all this stuff. Mind you, this was something I had chased 20 years for.
Right.
Because I saw this in the catalog probably in like 94.
Okay.
So I didn't get it until like 2013. So there was like a 19-year chase to get this. And it was, I forget what it was in 94. I got to see if I can dig up the catalog and find the actual prices of what it was. It sure as hell wasn't $30 though.
No.
But I still can't believe, like, again, that was like the score of the century. Like, there's been some stuff that I've spent money on, and I'll freely admit it. Like the old Jan Hogan that I have behind me was probably the most expensive purchase I've ever made for anything that I bought. But at the same time, I have also gotten some massive deals, and this was one of them. And the fact too that it was like a long chase to get, the story behind it too. I also think this may have been the first purchase I made after I was getting separated. So yeah, that was another, there came some
You gifted yourself.
more landmarks,
Yeah. I get it. Next one is All the Horsemen.
Yes, this is another grail. Another one that I would probably have to run and take off the wall. It's funny that some of my three favorite factions ever, I have all of their signed stuff. I have the NWO, I have the Horsemen, and then of course I have the Undisputed Era. So like three of like my top 5 or 10 out of, well, two of my all-time favorites, and then you have the Undisputed Era, which I'll probably put in the category of top 5 or top 10. I have all those guys in a signed picture too. So it's like, the fact that I have a Ric Flair and like and a Horseman picture on my wall, and then I have an NWO picture on my wall, like 15-year-old me would have been like, whoa, that's awesome. I didn't think we'd ever get to that point. And again, even 20-year-old me, 25-year-old me, it'd be like, because there's just some stuff I've had to part with. I've had to part with some stuff that it just was a money thing. You needed the money. You were going through some stuff and you needed to part with it. This one and the NWO one, I don't think I'll ever get to that point where it's like I'll have to get rid of it.
Right.
I feel like, but those are the things that are just like, yeah, that's probably going to make it. Will those be the ones he gets buried with? Find out in 11.
We'll see. Would you get married? Would you get, buried with Pamela Anderson too?
That one.
I love how that
funny.
worked its way in there, by the way. I was just like,
it's
that's saying it there.
Because of the fact, the only reason that is the only reason I have that, like, that I display that now is because of the fact that, okay, when Steph moved in and all that stuff, and Steph would come over and look at everything, she would looked at, she didn't get mad. She didn't get mad at this, but she just was like, are we going back to like when you were 12 or 13? Because you got to have Pamela on here. And it's just like, at least I'm consistent. It's like, and it's not like also I had any of the centerfolds up. It is the
Baywatch.
iconography with the Baywatch swimsuit, because that is at least it's up there.
I think anybody that is a little bit of an older generation that grew up with Baywatch, especially males, probably know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
So
it's not like
I don't think you have anything to explain at this point. We kind of grew up with it. It
was I did have the Baywatch. I did have the Baywatch poster on my wall too. Like I
remember that.
I had the Baywatch. I had the Baywatch poster. I had a Jenny McCarthy one up too for years. And then I had the Francine ECW poster up after that. That was
again generational. People grew up with that. Know
Jenny
exactly
McCarthy.
What you're talking about.
Jenny McCarthy got replaced by Francine. It's like, how did that happen? Well, if I could find, that is another poster I would like to find and be able to get signed by Francine, just because of that. And wrestling fans also know that if you the Francine ECW poster, you know what I'm talking about. I don't need to. All you need to go is Google it, and you'll understand. It is one of the greatest posters in the history of mankind. As far as, just go ahead, folks. Just go look it up. I was able to get rid of the androgynous Undertaker one too recently. I was happy about that.
Did it sell yet? By the way, did that actually sell yet? The Undertaker.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if Nick sold it yet or not.
Okay. All right. Just curious.
I was able to get rid of it, so that's all. I was happy about that.
Yeah.
All right, just get out of my house.
Yeah.
Yes, this is actually, speaking of John Cena's retirement. This was actually my speaking. I mentioned earlier that Ric Flair was the post-separation purchase. This is the post-divorce purchase. I bought this. I had somehow gotten like a credit from WWE Shop one day, and they had somehow given me like a credit, and then all of a sudden I had seen that they still had this up there. And this is during a time when WWE really wasn't popular. It wasn't as popular as much. For one thing, I didn't have anything signed by Brock. I know for fucking sure that Brock Lesnar's not going to do any signings. Brock Lesnar is never going to be on the convention circuit. I'll tell you that now. So being able to get his autograph is going to be like hard, because he's going to be one of those guys. It's like he's never going to do signings. He's not going to do the tours and all that stuff. Because why? Yeah, Brock Lesnar's going to take pictures with fans, and he's going to charge $200 for an autograph. No thanks. That's why he's getting as much money as he is per year. So that way he doesn't have to go out and do that. He's not going to do the convention crowd. So I had to look at it from, this is probably the only chance I'm ever going to get to be able to get a Brock Lesnar autograph. And the fact too that Paul Heyman signed it, it was even more. But then just look at that headline. Just look at that. It looks like a newspaper from, the Daily Bugle or something like that, from comic book.
It does.
Of just Brock Lesnar defeats Cena, and with him as the conquering hero with the championships, and just the fact that that match to me is still one of my favorites ever, because you just see the conquering hero just gets absolutely throttled. And so I had to get something to commemorate the match, and then getting an autograph by Brock and Paul Heyman, it's like, yeah, I got to have this in the collection. Speaking of, and also this is a somewhat recent purchase. I think this is probably in the last year or two. I'm not a fan of Fanatics. I've talked about it.
You don't say.
I'm not a fan of Fanatics. Just not. I don't think I'm the only one. Occasionally, though, they have good deals. And this one was another one where it was like, that is a really good deal. And considering the fact that this was in the midst of the Roman Reigns 1,300 sorry, things toppled here.
What is happening?
1,316 days as WWF undisputed champion. I needed to be able to, again, have a Roman Reigns autograph. Do I think he might actually do the convention circuit maybe down the line at some point? I don't know. There's more of a chance of him doing it than I think there would be Brock.
I mean, that I'll give you, but I don't think there's much of a chance, honestly.
No, exactly. But Brock, there's 0% chance. And I think with Roman doing it, there's like a 5% chance. So not much, but enough. But he's a rare autograph. And two, he's probably in my top 10 as far as favorites is concerned. So that, in the historical significance by the reign and also the victory, I was just like, yep, need it, want it, It's reasonably priced. Let's do it. Yes. And not only did I have to get a Roman, I also had to get a Cody from the same Mania, actually. And again, the price was reasonable. Like, it was something I could have managed. They do beautiful work. I mean, that is one thing I could say about Fanatics as far as their collecting, because the Roman plaque looks great. The Cody plaque looks awesome. WWE too. I mean, everything that I've ever bought from them, as far as like collectibles is concerned, has always come in looking fantastic. Everything has looked like, the glass looks great. Everything looks matted perfectly. They always have a piece of like a rope or a mat or something like that, to go with it. So it's not just like the autograph. There's other stuff you're getting with it. Maybe, a piece of the mat, piece of the rope. I
Right.
think one of the Undertaker plaques I had, which was from WrestleMania 26, when he ended Shawn Michaels' career. It was the Streak versus Career match. It's a piece of the rope.
Yep.
And so they kind of differ it up. Sometimes you get the rope, sometimes you get the mat. But I think this one's the rope. But it also could be.
I can't read it, but yeah, it's one or the other, obviously.
So that's it as far as the plaques are concerned. As far as the WrestleMania ones, I haven't done a final count on those, of like how many I had. I did have more. I had a WrestleMania 21 Batista one and a WrestleMania 22 Rey Mysterio one. I also had a WrestleMania 2000 Triple H one. Those got sold up at some point. It's just, for one thing, I was just like, do I really need a Rey Mysterio? The Batista one, I'm kind of like, a little bit, because I really like Batista. Really like Batista. Still do. But it was just like, at the time. But that would probably be the only one that I was just like, I wish I kind of still had that. But it's not like anything that I own and I get rid of, I don't get broken up about. Because it's the nature of this. You get stuff at the time you want it, at the time you're like, yeah, all right. But then sometime down the line, you're like, this really doesn't fit. So I think I'm going to move on from this. So I have some stuff to show, because I really didn't want to just, because we only had so much of like stuff that like plaques and stuff that's already kind of hung up on my wall and stuff, or of like the real high-end collectible stuff that I had, because we've gone over that here in other episodes, but also here it was like, so I was kind of running out of like the big stuff. This next one, in the early 90s, the WWE had a card series with a company called Classic. They did 3 series. Series 1 came in like a blue box and blue packs. They were like a aqua blue packs. And they came in the box, and they also came with like a binder. That was Series 1. Series 1 was more like Wrestling Superstars. Series 1 Classic. Yeah. I don't have that one. I've been in search of one, but that set is like rather expensive, and then the binder too. However, I do have Series 2. And Series 2 was featured, I believe, the first 5 or 6 WrestleManias.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So it's all kind of the highlights of the first 5 or 6 Manias, which I did have a lot of these cards growing up, but it was kind of like a mismatch or anything like that. I never had the complete set until now.
Cool.
This next book is Series 3. Backstory on Series 3. Christmas of 1992, I was given the set, and it came in like a plastic, you know, those plastic things where you need like scissors to cut open, like, because you can't open them. You understand it's like a clamshell plastic that sucks.
Right.
Every piece of electronic equipment uses this, but so did card companies back then too. So it came in a binder, and then it had three 50 packs of cards in plastic. So I open this thing up, and Christmas morning, instead of playing my toys, I am meticulously putting all the cards into this binder. So this was the Classic Wrestling Series cards, Series 3, came in a red binder. At one point in the mid-90s, when my parents and when my family and myself moved from Worcester to the town that I live in now in 1994, this got lost. This got lost with all my wrestling magazines too, and that box didn't come. Probably didn't get. We didn't find that box for another 2 years.
Oh, damn.
So at one point, I just thought that this was lost forever. The reason why that I hold this in such high regard is because of the fact that, number one, this set was in the midst of my fandom. As you can see, Hulk Hogan at the top and, you know, Jake the Snake Roberts. This was exactly the era that I got into everything. But more importantly, folks, in my lifetime, I don't think I will ever own a 1952 Mickey Mantle. However, I do own an Undertaker rookie.
Nice. Very nice.
And this is the big one. This is the big one, too, that always gets graded and gets, like, a couple years ago, it was like somebody told me to, like, you know, that graded Undertaker card's going for, like, a couple of thousand on eBay. I'm like, yeah, because you bite your lip a little bit because you're thinking to yourself, there might be a time that does get parted with. There might be, because it's like, as far as when it comes to collectibles, it's like, again, I already have so much, especially the Undertaker. It's like I have almost every figure I could think of. I have autographs. I have T-shirts. I have a lot of other cool stuff with it. It's like if I have to part with a Undertaker rookie card, I think I can live with it just because of the fact it's like I can't display the card, right? Like, you know, I can't display the book because number one, I don't want people touching it. So it's like I don't want to, you know, it's like I hide the shit because, you know, I don't want people to just open the book and be like, don't do that to me. Don't.
Fair. That's fair, though.
It is. And it's like, but it's because I don't mind if somebody wants to come in, look at my figures, because it's like if the box drops, no big deal, right? I don't care. But like something happens to the card, then it's like, because
Yeah, I mean, the cards are a lot easier to, I'll just say manipulate, I guess.
Yes.
Versus dropping a box. You know, it's way different. Especially as a collector of various items, you know, it's like you kind of know what's breakable, what's not breakable, what could potentially get damaged, what's definitely not going to get damaged. Stuff in a box isn't going to get damaged potentially, you know, but like the Hogan behind you, for example, like somebody drops that in a certain way on something, maybe the cellophane in the front breaks, you never know. But a card, you know, some of those frames, that's different.
yeah, it's just that's part of the issue. That's why it's like with the glass frames, it's like, well, I'm going to just do stock photos because I'm not taking these out.
Yeah.
Because it's not worth breaking something that then it's just like, this is going to cost me so much money to get replaced, or now there's a crack in it. It's like, I can't deal.
That's the thing. It's just not worth the trouble sometimes. 100%.
So, I do have figures recently that I have, acquired, either in
course you do.
trade or purchase.
Of course you do.
This one actually almost caused an international incident at a Walmart as of recently, because some people didn't understand. My co-host understood, because my co-host from the very fucking first, as soon as we entered the building, heard me muttering to myself,
Scott Steiner.
Yes. So he understood what I was looking for. I understood. And that's the international sign for dibs.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you walked right past it. Not by much, a couple feet. I saw it. I was about to grab it off the rack. He just goes, yoink. And I'm like, bro, really?
You called him out of what was going on. I'm just like, really?
Yeah, and
He's called it as soon
I
as he
think
walked
he
in
was.
the car.
I think it was full of BS when he was trying to be like, "Oh, I was just joking." No, you weren't.
No, you weren't.
No, you weren't. I love you. I love you, but no, you weren't.
I love you, but no, you weren't. But yeah, this. I wish it almost came with a tiger, like on that episode that he came out with the tiger.
Oh,
But the
that
straight
was
jacket's
awesome.
a nice touch.
That is a nice touch.
But too, like,
Does it have the chainmail helmet?
it does.
Nice.
It
I
does.
couldn't tell, but I do see it now. That's awesome.
Or you could take it from the Triple H Ultimate too, that has the chain.
Yeah, it's
Remember when he
true.
came out with the one over his chest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to forget that. Thanks.
I'm gonna take the Harley Davidson hat from Shane Douglas, and I'm gonna take the chainmail from Scott Steiner. I'm just gonna put that over my chest. What do you think? All right.
Moving on.
The new Eddie Guerrero Ultimate that from, I believe it's the only problem I have with this, didn't come with the championship belt, but it did come with a bull rope. That is pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
I think it was from the Great American Bash match he had with JBL. Again, this is from '04, so if like somebody's just sitting there like, actually it was from Judgment, whatever.
Sorry. Probably forgotten more wrestling facts than you remember. So
Exactly. Tito! I know there's going to be a Tito Santana, like, Legends coming out soon. Probably for Target, but I was just like, you know what, the t-shirt, I don't have a Tito Santana, so
there you go.
it's like, might as well.
Why not?
And then I had to get because I already, the funny thing is that Billy Wire, we're talking about this because, so Steph got me the regular Big Boss Man a few years back for Christmas,
Okay.
but which I still have.
Right.
And then I have the ultimate one that they did with, I think, Bam Bam Bigelow, that 2-pack. So now there's an ultimate one that's rather similar to the one that I got for the Elite that Steph got me. But this one is the WCW Boss version. So it's technically the Chase Valiant. So I had to get the Chase Valiant of the Big Boss Man. Because the Chase Valiant is usually worth more money. WrestleMania 8 Macho, which
Very
I
nice.
didn't know I needed until all of a sudden I looked at it and I'm
No,
like,
that's a great figure.
yes, it is great. I feel like every Macho Man possible I got to grab now because it's just,
There are going to be too many though.
yeah.
It's like him, Sean, a bunch of other people. That's just it's going to be too many at some point.
I got a Sean coming in January actually from Royal Rumble 95.
There you go. See,
It's like, but how many Seans do I need?
that's the thing. It's the same with Jey Uso. It's the same with Macho. It's the same. All of them. Okay, fair enough.
I don't need Jey Uso. I have one.
No, not Jay. I
know,
got,
yeah.
but
I've
Sean and
gotten out-
Macho.
I have the Yeats Jey Uso Ultimates, and that's it. Everything else I have gotten out of that business.
It'll be too many by the end.
I am out of the Uso business.
Yeah, I don't
Just
blame you.
out of it.
It'll be too many by the end. Like I said.
Evolution Randy Orton.
Nice.
Evolution Randy Orton. With the IC belt. I don't know if the t-shirt has what was on the back of it. But we all know it was on the back of it. We all know. We all know. We all remember. Ringside exclusive, Ringside Collectibles. Save 10% now by considering he's a friend of the show, Grim.
Boo,
GR.
Oh, right.
IM, WrestlingFigures.com or RingsideCollectibles.com. Check out their winter sale. But also, you'll be able to find the Dudleys. Those damn Dudleys.
That's pretty cool.
The damn Dudleys 2-pack Ultimate Ringside exclusive. And this is one with the camo gear.
Nice. Nice.
And there's Bubba.
Bubba.
One of
Oh,
the
with the tag titles, no less, too.
With the tag titles as well, yes. Multiple heads. Even with the glasses. He's got his glasses. He can't see without his glasses.
You wouldn't hit a man with glasses, would you?
I kill a lot of people's parents. I don't know. And for AEW representation. Okay? So that way people can't sit here and be like, da 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 da. Dan only talking about WWE merchandise. The Will Ospreay Supreme. The Will Ospreay Supreme.
Not
And I
bad.
was able to get this on sale through Jazzwares Vault. One of their Black Monday
Ooh,
events
man.
they had, or Cyber Monday events for that matter, because Black Monday does not sound good because of the stock market in the past and all this. But if you have, but if you have, but for one of their Cyber Monday deals, this is a $40 figure that I got for 20.
It's not bad at all.
No, even Billy was just like, I paid full price. I'm like, I know you did, but I did not. Finally, for once, because I got to look for every deal possible. So, as the grand finale, I have to go grab this. So I am going to try and not knock stuff over and do this and try to do this in a way, actually, too, to see if I can do this without like dying too much.
I'm just gonna let this run then, because I just want to hear the crash in the background.
There's gonna be no crash, I swear. I swear there'll be no crash.
Ah, damn.
No crash.
No crash.
Oh, because I need this. If you have, you'll notice I have the bumper sticker on the Green Monster, folks. But this, this is another thing that'll probably be buried with me. Opie, Anthony, and Jimmy with the BCNs. They actually tried putting this on buses, and the MBTA had a problem with it. So these got taken down. I ended up with one and was able to get one signed by those guys. Dad, I gotta find a decent frame for that too.
Yep.
That was sitting in was it sitting in my Dean dorm room when you came
I
on
don't
in the second
remember.
year?
I don't remember, to be honest.
First year it was there. First year it was. I don't know if it was second year though. That might have still been back at the house.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it might have been, but I don't remember.
I feel like I brought it. I don't know though. I can't recall.
You might have even had it, just
23
maybe had it
years
behind
ago.
something. But yeah, that's
Possibly.
the other thing too. It was 20-something years ago.
So, in 2005, ECW was doing, they had done the first ECW One Night Stand show, but then Shane Douglas decided to do Hardcore Homecoming the night before, which was at the old ECW arena in Philly. So they did it was a treat. So of course they brought in Terry Funk, Raven, Sabu, Sandman, Joey Styles did the call, all that stuff. So they did a kind of a collage, more or less like lithograph so I have this signed by Sabu,
Very nice.
Raven, Sandman, Terry Funk, Joey Styles, and Shane Douglas. So technically, 4 former NWA champions, even though you got to put Shane with an asterisk. but also to 5 ECW champions. Unfortunately, Sabu and Terry are no longer with us. So that's another piece that, like, as far as historical significance is concerned, for that company, it's like almost like a Mount Rushmore, a little bit more than Mount Rushmore. But you can make the argument that these are probably the most important centralized figures in ECW. And the people that I have behind this, because remember how I mentioned earlier that the ECW Barely Legal poster, I had found something a lot cooler than that, so I didn't really need to hold on to the ECW Barely Legal poster. And I was able to, it's also something I could fit into this, and because I could have both pieces kind of, you turn one over and you're like, holy shit. Again, this is more, maybe one of the coolest things I have in my collection, and maybe one of the most rare. Because I have never seen this before or since of what I own. And in 1998, at one point, at the end of 98, going into November to November for ECW, the original Triple Threat, which was Shane Douglas, Chris Candido, and Bam Bam Bigelow, were having a feud with Sabu, Rob Van Dam, and Taz. So, because of this big, huge moment at the arena, and of course, everybody remembers the problems that Sabu and Taz had, legendary, that was the big one that they balanced their whole first pay-per-view off of, a Barely Legal, was the animosity that these two guys had.
Right.
So, because of everything that was going on with the old Triple Threat, and, you know, Shane Douglas has had this title for how long? All these guys have just been fucking with us for years. So at one ECW show in the arena, it was like one of those moments of just like, holy shit. Taz and Sabu shook hands and they embraced, and they all formed a new Triple Threat to go up against. Huge, like, holy shit, like, moment. And so
Yeah, it's sick, man.
I have not seen one of these ever before or since. I don't know. I think I paid like $40 for this.
It's not bad considering.
Considering the fact, like, that's why I was like, I could get rid of the Barely Legal poster, because that means because I was able to get, again, in this, because you look at this, some of the most important people in ECW's history, reverse. Some of the most important in ECW history.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
right here, one piece. And the fact, too, it's signed by everybody. The autographs match. It's like, I don't need a certificate of authenticity because I know this is legitimate.
Right.
I know it's legit. I've seen these guys' autographs before, so I know it fits. But the fact that this is, I've never seen this before, have not seen it since. Like, the rarity of this is huge. Like, it's absolutely massive. And this is probably one of the rarest things I own in my collection, because, again, I have not seen anybody have one of these. This I've seen a bit. This I haven't. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no. Like, there are some things I own that it's just like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. It's just like, well, everybody has that. Yeah. Or like more than one person have it or something like that. It's just like, but that's like, I haven't seen anybody have that.
Right, yeah. I get it.
So
That's awesome.
I think that's it. I think that is it for kind of our Christmas special, which is more or less me opening up the vaults again. I don't know how many more I can do of these, where it's just, because now it's just going to turn into just action figures. Like,
I mean, you'd have to dig a lot of that stuff out, too.
I know, too. It's like, I'd have to just be like, Like, and there's bins and there's
Yeah.
all other stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, though, it's like everywhere I go, it's just like new stuff. Like, Bugs Bunny just hanging around. Like, what are we dealing with here? My room is just becoming like the Tonight Show of the 60s and 70s. It's just like you never know what celebrity's going to show up tonight smoking. So,
Yeah!
So, I just want to be able to say to everybody, I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. Thank you for tuning in for our little kind of thrown together Christmas special. Kind of have everybody come into the vault again. I enjoy doing these. Again, it's a nice little break from having to just, folks. We've been down this road. We know. So, Mac, do you have anything else to
No,
wish everybody?
Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope everybody stays happy, healthy, and safe. And next week we will, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you view it, review the year in wrestling.
Yes. We're not going to go in depth, but we're also just we're probably going to come on here and just be like, what did we like from this year? Can we come up with 5 things that we liked this year?
I'm still struggling to find one thing I like this year. I've been really struggling to think about it the last week or so since we've had the discussion about what that should look like, and it's like, what did I actually like this year?
We have to try to be merry. We have to try to be merry.
No, that's today. Today we did that.
I know.
But
we're
next
being
week
merry. I know, but that's next week. Let's just be merry to finish this out. So
I mean, do you want me to be coherent or?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Then that's.
Vast amount of marijuana.
I have edibles waiting. So does Mac. Because some of it, and I'm sure that some of us tomorrow, we're going to have that extra
Some of us are
drink
going to need it to be able to deal with family, I feel like. It's not
Exactly.
everybody. It's not everybody, but
Not everybody, but
some of us might. Yeah.
Some of us might need an extra drink or an extra 25 milligrams to kick in to be able to just be merry and enjoy. So that's what everybody should do tomorrow. Enjoy yourselves. Try not to think about the bad stuff. Try not to be negative. Just be merry and enjoy yourselves and have a merry, merry Christmas, everybody. And we will be back next week to wrap it up for the year. But until then, have a Merry Christmas, and we will see you all next week.